So if there's one key character trait that will really get your life in order and really start, I guess, just changing your life in a positive direction, right? As corny or cliche as it may sound, as superficial and just basic as it may sound, I think one of the most important, again, if I had to pick one character trait that would make all the difference for you in your life, is the character trait of courage, right? Think about it. How many of your actions, how many of your words, just how many of your daily behavior is dictated by fear, right? What keeps you from doing what you really want to do in life, within reason, of course. I'm not saying that you should go out there and just be, a wild stallion and do whatever it is that you want. No, obviously not. That's not the message of this video, right? And that's not what I'm encouraging you to do. But within reason, of course. Think about your daily actions from day to day, and how much of it is being filtered through the lens of fear. How many of the things you're doing, or how many of the things that you're saying on a daily basis are being monitored by fear. There's always a way out if you make one, right? Many people are just stuck in that situation, for example, and they let fear rule their decisions, right? They say, I really need this job because I need to pay for my rent and I need to pay for my kids, right? But they get stuck in that loop, and they don't think beyond that, right? So I'll give you another example. Maybe talking to a certain person that you really want to talk to and being too scared about, their opinions, or just being scared of the opinions of other people in general, right? And just really monitoring the way you act or the things you say around them because you're scared of a certain outcome, right? You're scared of their judgment. Or just being scared to take action in your life in whatever area it may be, right? Maybe you've been putting off getting your driver's license, or taking your driving's test, or enrolling in that course that you really need to enroll in college, whatever the case may be, right? Fear just comes in different shapes and forms, and a lot of the time we may not be even conscious of it, right? That it's just taking control of our lives and ruling every decision that we make. So again, it's all about developing that courage muscle. And if you tandem that with developing your self-esteem and your confidence, I think these are just, great pillars to have when it comes to just navigating daily life, right? If you're not scared, if you're courageous, if you take action regardless of how you feel, and you take action regardless of, the fears that may be in front of you, that's just such an incredible skill to have, right? You are no longer bound by fear. And just think about it. If fear wasn't a factor in your life, how much different would your life look like? Would you be scared to actually go for the things that you want to go for? Would you settle for less, or would you dream a little bigger and, go for it, right? Realizing that, even if you fail at something, it doesn't mean that that's the end of it, right? That it doesn't mean that it's the end of the road for you. There's always a way out, like I said, if you make one. So, again, having courage and having a healthy self-esteem and sense of self-confidence will just, I think it's one of the most important traits that you can have, right? So how do you go about developing your courage and your self-esteem and your sense of self-confidence, right? Age and experience a lot of the time does the trick. But that doesn't mean that you need to be waiting around, getting older in order to develop these areas of life. I think it all just comes down to putting yourself in uncomfortable situations and just pushing past the fear no matter what happens, right? It's really as simple as that. The more you practice the skill, the more you practice that muscle, so to speak, the more you'll realize that it's not so bad at the end of the day, that most of the things that we fear or we're scared of, a lot of it is just in our imagination, right? And in real life, it's never as bad as we make it seem, things are never as bad as we make things seem in our heads. And again, it's all about just pushing past that initial barrier, right? Taking action regardless of how you feel. And at the end of the road, there are a lot of important lessons to be learned, right? You start learning that it's not even so bad, that that anxiety, that sense of dread or fear that you may feel about something, it goes away once you start taking action, right? And that, again, there are a lot of important lessons to be learned at the end of the day. when you push past that fear, right? Developing self-confidence and self-esteem in a natural, healthy way. Again, it's all about challenges, right? Putting challenges in front of you and going past them and completing those challenges, right? Kind of like in a video game. The more uncomfortable situations you find yourself in, within reason, of course, the more challenges you take on, the more you fail and try at things, the more you get rejected in life, the more you try things regardless of how you feel, right? The more you actually meet the goals that you set for yourself and you take action towards, right? The more, your self-esteem and self-confidence starts to develop. It doesn't just come from one source, right? A lot of it is from experience and age and wisdom, that you acquire as you take on challenges in life, right? So it's all about just getting out there and, and actually going for it, right? Obviously, there are certain things that you can do as well to, boost your confidence and self-esteem in a more direct way, I would say, like developing, the ability to defend yourself, for example, self-defense, learning a martial art. I would highly recommend it if you're looking to, again, increase your confidence and self-esteem in general. Just having that ability and that awareness to defend yourself and to defend others just gives you this tranquility about life, right? Like that famous quote from Fight Club that says, once you learn how to fight, everything in your life seems to have the volume turned down, and that's very true. So again, it's a variety of things, right, that you can work on. So again, it comes from multiple sources, right? You can work on it, obviously, fixing deep-rooted issues, traumas that you may have, and facing them and getting over them. Obviously, if you feel you have unresolved issues in your life or traumas in your life and you need the extra help, then go for it, right? But it's really just about getting to the core of the issue, right? If you have issues in your life, if you have problems in your life, getting to the core, getting to the core of the issue, fixing problems, challenging yourself, failing again and getting rejected, working on your self-esteem and confidence by, again, learning a martial art or by learning a sport that you're really into, right? Just developing, mastering something, just increasing in wisdom as you get older and experience, right? As you get older, it's a bunch of things, right, that just come together. Your own self-image and your own self-talk about yourself, right? How you feel about yourself, the self-talk, again, that you give yourself on a day-to-day basis. It just comes from so many different sources, but it's all about just getting out there and trying things in life, right? And not being bound by fear, actually having the courage to, step outside your door and, make things happen. If you have that mindset in mind, then, I found that a lot of these things just seem to fall into place, right? Naturally. So again, don't let fear rule your life. Be courageous. Just take that first step, no matter how small it may be, and you'll see that it's not so bad at the end of the day. Don't be too hard on yourself if you're young, right? Again, a lot of it comes with age and experience. But the key point here, if you take anything from the video, is to just take action regardless of how you feel, right? Don't let your emotions rule your life. And don't let your emotions rule and dictate the actions that you take on a day-to-day basis, right? So if you made it this far in the video, hopefully something that I mentioned in this video is of use to you. It's kind of like Link. Think about it from the Legend of Zelda series, if you've ever played that game. Link is... obviously, he has a lot of great character traits, but what's the basis of Link's character, right? Courage, right? He has the Triforce of courage, as silly as it may sound, right? But again, it's all just symbolic for something else, right? It's symbolic, and it symbolizes the core essence of his character, right? What really drives him forward and what really keeps him going, right? Courage. So I encourage you to be I encourage you to be like Link, right? To have courage in your life, and have courage be one of the main virtues in your life, right? So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I make videos on self-improvement. I give life advice based on personal experience. And I occasionally ramble about random topics that I find fascinating, whether it be an anime, a movie, a TV show, anything that fascinates me in general. If you would like to watch videos regarding those topics, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers. Thank you to all the subscribers in general, to all the viewers of this channel. And I'll see you in the next video.